We got this question in last week, and it goes with our series on the Big Ten Directives. It says, hey, life is the mission. Does it bother you, all the nudity that's involved in ancient church art? What's up with all the perversion? Great question. Okay, you are right. Historic church ceilings and frescoes are filled with naked babies, naked angels, and naked people, while at the same time these same churches are at least vocally opposed to nudism. When I was a kid, I loved to study church history just to see naked people. Without it, a young man had to hope for a National Geographic magazine featuring an indigenous tribe. The most famous church image of all was painted on the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel in 1511. Michelangelo painted the obligatory white-robed creator on the upper right-hand side, surrounded by naked children, of course, reclined leisurely, stretching his arm and his hand and his fingertip toward Adam. On the other side, Adam lounged away from the creator, exposing his muscular torso, posing full frontal nude, by the way, as this was apparently before the Apple incident, I guess. His hand lazily reaching back to the creator. Adam must have been a teenager in the mind of Michelangelo. Michelangelo had no model for God. Now understand, there was no description, as his holy book told him that his God was an invisible spirit, and that no man had seen God, and that no man should make images of God. Oh, wow. That changes things, doesn't it? A monk once told me that commandment number 2 was conveniently overridden, as images and statues have allowed the church to further the faith among uneducated tribes and illiterate people. Let's get history correct. Somewhere between 100 and 300 AD, some Orthodox and Catholic churches began using paintings to commemorate the apostles, angels, Yeshua, Jesus, and even God. People naturally gravitated toward worshiping these icons. It is much easier to worship an image you can see than a spirit you cannot see. In 726 AD, the Byzantine Emperor Leo III issued a decree against the worship of these icons. I thought that had happened 2,200 years earlier in the Ten Commandments. Pardon the sarcasm there. Nevertheless, at the Second Ecumenical Council of the Christian Church, meeting in Nicaea in 787 AD, they decided that painted and carved icons deserved reverence, but not adoration, which was reserved for invisible God. They also declared that every altar should contain a historic relic. Okay? Pope Adrian I confirmed the decrees of the council, and icons, statues, and paintings became fully accepted. Note, this was challenged multiple times in coming centuries. Now back to God's greatest 10 directives. Here we are at life hack directive number 2. It says, do not create any artistic images or statues of the Creator as a man or a beast or a fish or an animal, and never worship anything that is made like that. In modern language, it said, do not attach any images to the Creator, whether that be a paint or stone or wood or symbol or 3D technology or plaster. Okay, here's the real question. Why would God want to disallow icons and statues? Think about that. I believe the answer is simple. First, as far as we are informed in the Hebrew Tanakh, the Christian Bible, and the Quran, no man has seen God. So if no person has seen God, the only image we would create would be from our own limited imagination. Think about that. To that imagination, we would bring both our quirks, our attributes, and stuff we robbed from other God statues that we thought looked really cool. We would make the Creator look like what we wanted others to view as our Creator. We would give the Creator our attributes and our set of rules. We would put the Creator in our box. The old Yiddish proverb says, if triangles had a god, their god would have 3 sides. I said it before, but it might be the heaviest quote I have ever made, so I'll say it again. In the beginning, the Creator formed mankind in His own image. Shortly after, mankind created religion in His own image and called it God. As mankind has created religion and various gods in His own image, we have given God our clothing type, our shoe size, and our naked baby surroundscape to illustrate that our belief that all passing babies become baby angels for God's enjoyment. We all know how much fun it is to be surrounded by unpotty trained children. Again, sorry for the sarcasm. Our vengeful and revengeful selves have placed in our Creator's hands various swords to defeat our enemies. Look at it. Look at the statues. We all want to believe that the Creator loves us more than our enemies. That's true. Anne Lamott wrote, "You can safely assume you've created God in your own image when it turns out that God hates all the same people you do." Wow, that's good. Let's come back to this next week. I want you to think about every picture you have seen of God, a God, or even Yeshua Jesus. What or who did he look like? What were his surroundings? Consider how we have created God in our own image. In doing so this week, consider how your created view of God may have jaded your view of others who took a different view. Is your God white, black, brown, yellow? Does he hate Jews, Muslims, Christians, Democrats, Republicans, independents, or atheists? Consider how you may have created a God in your own image. Now let's talk about it next week. Love you guys. Peace.